Hello and welcome to Crafting on the Plains. My name is Jacinta and this is my channel about cross stitch and also usually about quilting and knitting and sewing, but pretty much today I'm just going to be showing cross stitch, and that is because this is my 2023 WIP parade. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are a new viewer, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I really appreciate you taking your time to join me. I know there's so many amazing channels out there, Flosstubes, knitting podcasts, all of that. So thank you for joining me. And if you have not already, please consider liking this video and subscribing so that way you can see more of what I post. And so, like I said, I am going to be just doing a WIP parade today as well as some end of year plans. So I'm going to show you my current WIPs, and then I'm going to talk about some stuff I'm going to be starting at the end of the year and the beginning of next year. I'm also going to give you a little peek into my crafting, stitching, journal planner thing, because a few of you did mention that you would be interested in seeing that. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I don't think I'm going to share my quilting and knitting WIPs just because I don't want this video to be too long. But if you are interested in seeing those, I'm happy to film another WIP parade that's like non-cross stitch WIPs. So let me know down below if you would like to see that. But other than that, I'm going to just go ahead and get started. And these are in, I'm looking over here, I have a big stack, and they are in like no particular order. Some of them are new, some of them are older. I tried to organize them and then I had to move my stacks around and they got all unorganized. So we're going to go with it. But I will probably talk more about the ones that I know I have not shown on my channel, or at least have not shown recently. And then I will just give some basic details about the ones that I have shown fairly recently, just because you saw them probably last week if you watched my previous floss tube. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first one, I will go ahead and start down here. This is one I don't believe I've ever shown on my channel. And this is in a bag from the Scrappy Thread. I don't know if she still sells or not. If I can find her Etsy shop, I'll put it below. But really love this bag. It's the first like cross stitch project bag I ever got. And this one is Real Comfort. And I do have to apologize because I have not ironed any of these, just because that would be I would have spent more time ironing than I would on this floss tube. So here we are, Real Comfort, and I mostly stitch from PDFs, so I will probably just post pictures as I can. So just keep a lookout on the screen for those. But this right here is Real Comfort. This is quite creased because I have not pulled this out since June. So this is, whoa, that's really bad. Real Comfort by, I'm going to go ahead and just fold it over so there's not quite as much creases. This is Real Comfort by Modern Folk Embroidery. And as you can see, I have a lot of the top done. And I am doing this is on a 32 count from Fortnite Fabrics, and I don't think it has a name. I think it's just, it was one of their like, just buy it on the Facebook group things. But there it is. And this one this was a special start for me. The reason it is so horribly creased, not all of these will be this way, I promise you. The reason that this one is so horribly creased is because I started this when we went to Scotland this year. So I started it, I think I started it like the day before. That way I'd have a little bit of a start when we took off. And so I stitched on it on the plane and in our Airbnbs and everything like that. And so this was a very special project. And I wanted to have something that would be monochromatic, easy to see. So 32 count, easy to see, light colored fabric. So I thought that this would be a good one to do. And I am going to be changing. So I saw this being stitched by Nicola of Bumble Stitches, I think it is. And she omitted, in the original chart, there's an alphabet below, and it's a quote from Jane Austen's Emma. And I am going to be omitting the alphabet because, unpopular cross-stitch opinion, I don't like alphabets. I think they're beautiful when other people stitch them, but it's just not my style, and I do not want to stitch an alphabet. So I just, yeah, decided to omit that. Plus it will make it much, much smaller. So it'll make it a lot smaller for you to be able to see. So, and then the floss I'm using is DMC variegated. It is this one. It is 4240. And it's a very beautiful blue, purple to blue, shades of purple and shades of blue. And I love it. And I am also changing it because I think this was maybe originally charted for like the 100-year, anniversary. I'm not really sure. There was some significance to the dates, but they aren't significant to me. I think it had to do with when the chart was released. So I'm going to change it to Jane Austen's birth year and death year. So I put in her death year over here, and then I'm going to rechart her birth year on the other side. So it's really, really pretty, and I am hoping to work on this. This is going to be on my WIP Go board for 2024. I'm going to do WIP Go, and I'm going to talk a little bit more later about my WIP Go and what I'm going to do with it. But this is one of the things that's definitely going to be on my WIP Go because I would like to work on it some more and obviously iron it. So, okay, the next one that I have, I showed last time. This is We Santa 2022 by Heart and Hand. And this was my Jingle Ball start for this year. And it is stitched with the called for DMC and then a couple of the called for fancy flosses. And it's stitched on a 32 count XJU design Grandma's Slip. And it is so cute. I love it. And I have this mostly done. I would love to finish this Christmas season. If I don't, that's okay, and I will just make sure it gets put on my WIP Go board, and I will make it a goal to finish it before next Christmas season. That way I can do a fully finish. Because I started a lot of seasonal projects this year, and I don't know that I can guarantee I can finish all of them. Actually, I know I cannot guarantee to finish all of them. So another project that you have seen recently that was started this year or this season, and this is still in the hoop because I've been working on it recently, is Winter Thistle by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I recharted the bottom to say Merry Christmas in Scottish Gaelic. And I am almost finished with this. I basically just need to finish putting the border around, and then I just tensioned it wonky. It's not actually wonky. And then I have a secondary border to go around, and then there's a few just white snowflakes in there, and then it will be finished. So very excited about this. I am hoping to get this done this year because I did go ahead and put 2023 on it. So I need to get a wiggle. And this is on a 36 count by Under the Sea Fabrics, and it's called Witching Hour. And the color, the floss color I'm using, I'm stitching this one 1/2 with Fool's Gold, which I ripped to the bottom of my floss tag. So, but really enjoying that piece. It's very fun, and I feel like the 1/2 I can go really fast because it's monochromatic, and I sit down for just 30 minutes to an hour, and I feel like I've gotten so much done. It's a very satisfying stitch. This is one that I have shown on my channel, but not recently. This one kind of got put away, and this is White Winter Moth by Kathy Barrick. And I started this last year. No, this past year. I started, I want to say maybe February or March of 2023, and I'm According to Pattern Keeper, like 70% done. So the moth is 40% of all the stitches in this piece is just the moth. So yeah. But then I'm just working in the Quaker motifs, and it is just amazing. I love this one. This was my morning stitch for most of this year, and this is just what I got done. Just working on it in the mornings whenever I could, and I probably worked on it like half the mornings of the week. And yeah, just really, really like it. And this is 36 count 2/2, and I feel like the colors just pop doing 2/2. This is 36 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. And the colors are all the called for DMCs. So I think it's originally charted in NPI, but she provides you a DMC conversion, and it's beautiful. The DMC conversion, I've seen several people say this, is when you look at the picture of the pattern, it looks like it's more black and white, and maybe it's even coming out that way in my camera, but the flosses are like greens. They're greens and blues. And it's such a stunning color palette. Kathy Barrick has an amazing eye for color, and I love her patterns. So this one will go in my WIP Go for sure. It's already there, and I would love to finish it next year. I don't think it's going to be my morning stitch. I think I'm just going to make it a focus stitch a couple different months, and that should get it done, because I think I only have about 30 to 40% to finish. My next piece is one that you have not seen in a while, but I have been working on it a little bit, and that is my full coverage mini Ravenkin by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this one, the reason I have not been showing it is because where it is currently at, you can't really tell that I've made a lot of progress. And I don't want to show you something that doesn't really look like anything, especially because it's kind of a pain to get this one out as I'm wrestling with it at this moment. I wish I could like pre-set up, but I don't have a good spot to do that, so I'm just going ahead and showing you it this way. So this is my mini Ravenkin. Let me get all my little park threads kind of looking slightly more presentable. And this is again by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it is at, my goal for this year is 25%, and I think I'm at 24.8%. There she is. Park threads everywhere. And yeah, I was working on this just, I think, last night, which is why there's hoop marks on it. But you can see I've got some birds. I have 2 pages completely finished. And then I have, this is another page down here that I am working on. I think at this point I have about 2.5 pages done. And it's, I think, a 9 full pages and then 3 like quarter size pages for the whole chart. And yeah, I love it. And right now I'm just working in essentially shades of black and navy, which is why you cannot see what I'm doing. What I'm working on is down in here, all of this. But I really, really love her. I have about 100-ish more stitches to go until I reach my 25%, and then I'll put it away for the rest of the year and pull it out in 2024. I am debating, I don't really feel like this needs to go on my WIP Go, because I think I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to work on it a little bit most months anyway, so I don't really know that it needs to go on there. But it might be nice to be able to make it a focus project some months. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. But I love it. I have the top of her head in now, her hair. She has this like white hair. and these ravens, of course. I would like to say I will get 25% done every 6 months because that would put me at finishing it in 2 years. I don't know if that's too ambitious. I'm not really sure. But there we are. And I love it. It is so satisfying. It is so satisfying. I am doing this on a 25 count antique white Lugana 2/1 tent stitch. And it's my only full coverage, so I can't really say that I have done it other ways, but I cannot imagine. I think if I do another full coverage after this one, I'll do it the same way because I love it. I love this process of the tent stitch. So back to a couple pieces that you have seen before. This one is a project that I lamented about a little bit last time. This is my Christmas Wonderland Sal by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I have not worked on it since I showed you on my last Flosstube. This project has taken a back burner because it was stressing me out, even though it's beautiful. It's so pretty. But this has 6 parts. It's a lot more stitching than I thought it would be. And I have another project that I really want to get done this Christmas season. And so I'm just going to back burner this. If I get the other one done before the end of this Christmas season, I will pick this back up and focus on it. If not, it's just going to go on my WIP Go, and I will try to make some really good progress on it before next year. So that's where I am, but I am using all the kit stuff. This is the kit 32 count Lugana, and I'm using the kit flosses and all of that. And it is beautiful. I could not keep up with the stitch along, and it is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be smaller. And then this piece is my pattern that I am working on for the Stitchy Sister Sal, which is hosted by Handmade by Sarah W. and her sister, who is Stitched in Pieces on Instagram. And here we are with it. This is actually upside down. It doesn't matter. It's whatever. I'm over halfway done with the berries. I just need to finish with the berries, put Mary in the center, and then I need to do the back stitch, which I'm very excited about. So I am definitely going to be trying to make this a finish this year. I'm kind of alternating between this piece and then another piece I'm going to show you in a little bit as my like main stitches until they're finished, and then I'm going to go kind of progress through my other seasonal starts. And I did a full conversion for this one. So this is being stitched on a 32 count linen from a maker that sadly no longer dyes. And it's just a little scrap, and I'm using every piece of this fabric that I can because it's so beautiful and I can't ever get more. And then my flosses, I did a full DMC conversion. It's a free chart and it's just charted in DMC, but I did a conversion that is somehow tangled in my hoop, so that's good. But there is my flosses. And if you're interested in any floss colors, fabric, anything, I'm going to try to link everything below. But if for some reason you don't see it, please message me on Instagram, put a comment down below, send me an email. I'm happy to send you conversions, send you links, send you anything that you need. All right, these are 2 projects that I know I have not shown on my Flosstube ever. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. This is probably my oldest cross stitch WIP ever. I started this in 2021, spring of 2021. And this is Anniversary of the Heart, my edit, basically. So here she is. She is so pretty. And this piece is, I started stitching this because the first floss tuber I ever found was Olivia of Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. And I wasn't even trying to find floss tuber. I don't know. I stumbled across her, and I had like one cross stitch project at that time as a kid. I was trying it out. Fell in love with watching her, and I love her aesthetic. I love her style. It's different than my aesthetic and style, but I just think she's so calming, and everything she has is beautiful and goes well together. And she did the full Anniversaries of the Heart. And the point of this, so I'll show you the one that I'm working on right now is Moonlight Visitor. And these came out as a series from Blackbird Designs, and what you could do is stitch all 12, and they have spots for you to personalize your family member or whoever's initials you want to do. So Olivia did all 12 plus the bonus charts and did a lot of ancestral research and put all of her family members on there. I just did not want to have that big of a project. And so I decided to just do 4 that really spoke to me and that fit for our little family. So these are the ones I've done. I've completed 2, and then I have 1 in progress. So this one is Swan Lake, and this one I stitched for my husband, and I chose these the best I could based off of whichever one I felt like worked better. So number 1, I felt like this was one of the more like masculine colored blocks, but also the university that he went to, they have this beautiful like pond, and they have swans and a really mean flock of geese that live there year round. And there's some of the buildings are this kind of like white stone. So this kind of just like reminded me of his college campus. So I decided to do that one for him. And then this one, which is Moonlight Visitor, is mine. So I'm still putting in the details, but I have mine. And I'm using mostly the called for on these, and then occasionally just subbing something else in when I either couldn't get the called for or the called for didn't match. This is on a 32 count vintage country mocha, and so there are some of the called fors that were just blending in, so I had to switch them out. But this one's going to be mine, and really I just picked it because I love moths. The block with a moth, and I love moths, and it's my block, so I picked it. But it has a tree, and I grew up really like out in the middle of nowhere, and we did have really beautiful moths and other insects and stuff, and big like tall trees and things. So I thought this would be nice to do. But yeah, mostly picked it because of the moth. And then this is the other one that's finished. I stitched this one last year in 2022. And this is the one I did for our wedding. And this one is Farmhouse. And I actually was inspired by Olivia on this one because she changed hers to have French knots on these berries over here. It's supposed to be berries. And people were saying that they looked like grapes. And I thought, well, I actually do want mine to look like grapes. So I changed mine to look like grapes because my husband and I got married at a vineyard. And then I added in some turquoise colors. The turquoise is actually not normally part of the chart, but one of our main wedding color was turquoise, and so I wanted to incorporate that. So basically I have a block for my husband, a block for myself, a block for our wedding, and then my daughter's block is going to be, excuse my crinkling, my daughter's block is going to be Pumpkin Farm, because we would always joke that she was our pumpkin spice baby because she's born in October, right in the middle of October. And every year for her birthday, as part of our tradition, is we go to a pumpkin patch. So I felt like that would be perfect for her. So that is the last one, and then this will be done. So this one is absolutely going on my WIP Go. It was on last year. I was trying to do one block a year, and then obviously I failed at that this past year because I did not finish this one. But so I would like to finish this one and then potentially get Pumpkin Farm finished, but we'll see if that happens. And then my next piece is one that I also know that you have not seen before, and that is because I have not pulled this out since January of this past year. And this was my new year, new start for 2023. And I really thought that I would get this finished in January. So I didn't make space for my WIP go. I didn't make any plans to work. I was like, I'll get this done in January, no problem. Did not. And then I thought, well, I'll just pick it up at some point during the year and get it done. Did not. So this is actually the other part of the Vintage Country Mocha from my Anniversary with Heart. This is Light by Barbara Anna. And this is, at least it was, a free chart. If it still is, then I'll try to link where you can find it. But I think actually all of her free charts are just on her Instagram. So go to her Instagram page and she has, like, in her links, she has her charts. So that's what I'm going to tell you to do. But I will try to put her Instagram handle below. But so beautiful. And I did my own overdyed conversion for this. There's a few called for DMCs that I use, but for the most part, I did my own overdyed conversion because I just wanted to do it out of my stash. And so, yeah, here it is. And I really, really love this chart. And actually, what I think I'm going to do, I am not going to be participating in 12 by 12 on New Year's Eve, just because I think I'm going to be really busy. We don't usually go anywhere for New Year's, but we do tend to like have a movie night at home, me and my husband and my daughter, and we all pick different like kid-friendly movies, and we make a ton of snacks, and we just like sit around all night and eat and watch movies. And I don't want to have to like keep track of switching out projects and things like that. And I definitely don't want to do that many new starts. I know you can do starts and WIPs, but even then, I just don't want to have to worry about that. But what I thought is, this was my New Year, New Start last year, and I haven't touched it. So if I make this my New Year's Eve stitching, then I will have stitched on it one last time in 2023. And I thought that was cute. So this is what I'm going to do for my New Year's Eve, is I'm going to pull out Light and I'm going to work on it as much as I possibly can that evening. And I am pretty close to a finish. I don't think I'll get it done that night, but it is because there's still some like houses and stuff down here I have to do. But I think I could get it pretty close, and then it'll go on my WIP go, and then hopefully I can just get it finished. So that would be very nice. And then my very last WIP is one that you have seen recently, and that is Christmas Bell Sampler. And I love this piece. And I have been working diligently on this one. As you can see, there is progress from even last week. I'm getting close and I want to get this finished. So this has been my main project that I have been focusing on, at least during the day, and then usually at night is when I'll pull out a small and work on that a little bit. So this is my goal. I have not put this on my board because it is getting finished this year. Okay, so, and this is, in case you're new and you haven't heard me talk about this, this is a 36 count Winter Moon by Zweigart. I'm stitching it 2/2 to get a really good coverage and really good pop on the colors. And I am using my own color and cotton conversion, which I'm happy to share with anyone, and I will write up and post on my Instagram when I am finished with this. So very, very excited about all of those WIPs. And this is definitely the most WIPs I've ever had at one time. And I'm going to have more because I'm going to cast some things on, or not cast things on, that's knitting. I'm going to start some new things here in another week or two, a couple weeks. So I'm going to talk a little bit of, I've mentioned some of my plans already, WIP Go, things like that. So this is my stitching journal, I guess you would say, or crafting journal. And a couple people have been interested in seeing this, getting a sneaky peek into it. So this is what I use. I love that people use like books of days and things, but I've tried that before and I can't keep up with putting something in every day, and then I will go weeks or months being too busy and I will not put it in, and then it bothers me that I have all those blank pages that I just skip. So this right here is not a planner. This is just a dot grid plain notebook by Paperage. You can get these on Amazon. They are pretty cheap. I want to say like $10 US. In the US, probably $10. So very affordable. The paper is good quality. It does bleed a little bit, so like I wouldn't use like heavy markers or anything in here, but a lot of journaling people like these. I will say it does get mine, I think I actually came like this. The cover damage is a little bit easy. It's not like the highest quality, but it's pretty good. So, and then I like to have these. These are from Libby and Lou. I have some little stickers that are crafty that I like to stick in there as well, that I keep in my, it has a little back pocket. So that's fun. Okay, so what I do with this is it allows me, because it's not dated, I can put in plans when I want to, take notes, whatever, and then if I get to a point where I'm too busy and I can't, it doesn't matter because I don't have to waste any pages. So this is my WIP Go from last year. As you can see, I did not finish, but I feel like I did pretty good, especially considering it was a bit of a crazy year. And these colors do not signify anything. I just picked random colors and colored it in. I thought it would look fun to just be really colorful and to see how colorful it got by the end of the year. So that's where I am. Yeah, there's those ones I'm not going to do by the end of the year, but there we go. So that's how I set up my WIP Go for last year. And then I'm still in the process of making my WIP Go for this year. So it's not colored yet. So I like to do a 2-page spread, do my WIP Go on one side, which the dot grid is super easy, makes it super easy to draw out my squares. And then over here, like I did on the last year's, is where I will write out like each month's calls. So the numbers and everything like that, and now I can keep track. And then I'm just going to color it in as I finish. And I will probably color in like the top and add some like stickers and washi tape and stuff. I will also link to my favorite colored pencils from Amazon. They are so cheap, but so soft and good. Yeah, so I'll kind of show you what I do in this. I like to set up little plans, and so this is kind of like, this was my January 2023. So I kind of just decorate a couple pages and I'll put in like my WIP Go calls. I'll put in just sort of like some goals, things I want to do. If I started something or if I worked on something special, then I'll do that. I think that this isn't 100% like focusing because it's written in pencil, so I apologize about that, but you kind of get the gist. Yeah, so each month I would kind of do different stuff. And if I had like a SAL I was working on or any particular hashtags that I was using, any SALs, then I would put those as well. And I could kind of tick off different stuff. I would also keep like lists of accomplishments, so things that I finished, things that I did, things that I started. And yeah, definitely there's a few months where I just didn't do any monthly spreads at all. I kept lists of my WIPs, which I need to update, So you can see like June, I started one and then I didn't finish it. I actually did do these. I just didn't fill them in. So, and I didn't color it. And so like for this year, so this is my kind of like general 2024 plans page. Here's some other stickers I put in. So like I know I'm going to be doing the Scottish Sal that starts on January 25th. I am going to have a New Year, New Start, which I'm going to hopefully maybe get y'all's input on. And so this is just a place for me to sort of just put ideas for the upcoming new year before we get there. And so I have a list of WIPs. And so these are the ones I'm going to have going into 2024. I need to just go ahead and stick Christmas Wonderland on here because I know I'm going to have it. But yeah, and then I can check them off when I'm done. And I like to kind of have when I started them, if I know, because it's just interesting to me. And yeah, so this was my November, and I worked on kind of putting together a stitch rotation, which I haven't entirely followed. And yeah, so like I just had been enjoying in November working on felt ornaments, so I just wrote felt ornaments. And then here I put Stitchy Sister Sal, which is the hashtag, and then I also put the date it started, just so that I know. So it's just a good place to just put all of the things, and I don't have to have it in a gridded out like calendar format. So that is my Stitchy planner. And now I'm going to show you a couple things that are upcoming starts. So one thing that I know for sure I'm going to be starting is in here. This is going to be my birthday start. And this is Nora Corbett Moonglow. And I was finally influenced by the Huga Stitcher, Samantha. She does so many. I mean, if you like watching people stitch fancy ladies, I'm sure if you're seeing her, if you've seen me, you've seen her because she's amazing. But if you haven't and you like to see people stitch fancy ladies, go check her out because she's amazing. But I thought this would be a good way to ease into a fancy lady because she doesn't have skin. It's like an outline, but she's got the beading. She's got, I mean, just gorgeous. I'm so excited. So I have this fabric, which I'm not going to take out, but this is Fiber on a Whim, 32 count in the color Mint. And I'm doing it on 32 count because it has beads. And so I wanted to make sure that it fit the beads. So I have the bead pack from, I think I got this from Silver Creek Samplers. I got my bead pack. And I have all of my threads in here. So this is going to be started on my birthday. My birthday is December 28th, so it's right between Christmas and New Year's, which is not always fun, but that's okay. As an adult, I like it now because I just pretty much take the whole week off and just indulge myself and do a lot of crafts. But as a kid, it wasn't my favorite to have a in between Christmas and New Year's birthday. But that is that. And then I have no idea. Well, I have ideas, but I want your help. I don't know what I want to start for my New Year, New Start. So I have a couple options. So last year I got these fabrics, and they were going to be my birthday start and my New Year, New Start, but they didn't come in time, which is fine. So I just regrouped, but they've been sitting in my stash. So my last year's New Year, New Start was going to be Poisonous Plants by the Witchy Stitcher. And this was the fabric I got for it. It is a 32 count Under the Sea Fabrics in the color rate Nyx. And I thought this was a more like charcoal black color, but it's very navy. And so I'm a little concerned that Poisonous Plants won't look as good on this because it's stitched originally on like a black Aida. So I'm going to post a picture of poisonous plants, or if you're familiar with it, let me know what you think, if it would look okay on this like really dark navy blue. Because it's beautiful, and I might just come up with something else to stitch on it, but I would like to stitch that. And I found some other fabric I think might work. So if this turns out like you guys think it won't work, or if I think it won't work, then I might just stitch something else on this and buy a different fabric. But it won't be my New Year, New Start. The other fabric I bought, this was going to be my birthday start for last year, but fabric didn't come in time. So this is also by Under the Sea Fabrics. That's kind of the tricky part about my birthday, is I forget that because my birthday is right around the holidays, if I want to order something, especially if it has to be like custom made, like a hand dyed fabric, I can't just order it like a month, or I can't just order it a couple months ahead of time. I have to order it way ahead of time, because obviously November, December, those times are really busy and people are taking off and spending their time with their own family. So it's not like a problem that this didn't come in time. It just is what happens. So now I know to be a little bit more proactive when planning my birthday start. But this is Georgia Peach, and it's also 32 count. And this is so pretty. And this one I had planned to start a piece from Cute Patterns by Maria, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it's the girl that's like riding a whale. It's really pretty. I'll put a picture. And I would love to do that piece, but I'm a little concerned that that one and Moonglow will sort of be too similar-ish to each other, and that, I don't know, Moonglow is not going to have blends and all of that stuff, but I've been really craving a piece with blends and backstitch and all of that, and this would definitely fit the bill, but I'm a little bit afraid starting a big project like Moonglow that's going to have a lot of elements to it. Is a fancy lady, this is like a pretty girl, that they might be too similar, and I might not be able to work on them both and get a lot of progress done. But I really want to stitch on that, and I think I own both of those patterns already. My other option, and this is probably the easiest thing if I want to start off the new year with a project that I can get finished quickly-ish, is to start one of my Plum Street Samplers like animal trios. Really bad glare. So I have the tortoise tower. Actually, we'll probably not start that one because I want to convert the tortoises to look like turtles that we have around here. I think I'm going to make them red-eared sliders. But I've got Corgi Cavoodle, Fox Few, Bigfoot Bunch, Tired Trio. And that's it. And I love these so much because it's like my family. Because we just have our one little girl, and I also just think these are adorable, and they're semi-quick stitches. So, and I have plenty of fabric that would work with any of these. So one of these could maybe be like a nice, simple New Year, New Start to do, and it's not a huge project. So let me know if you think I should do Poisonous Plants, which I've been dying to start, but also kind of a big project. The Cute Patterns by Maria pattern, the name I cannot remember, but that I love, or one of these little Plum Streets. I'm interested in your vote. I can't promise you that I will follow your vote, because I might change my mind. I might go do some shopping and buy something new, but I'm interested to know what you think, because I am having a very hard time deciding. So that concludes my WIP parade and beginning of next year plans. Please let me know what you think down below. Are you also working on any of these projects? I would also love to know if you're working on any of these, or have any of these as WIPs or as planning to start them. And other than that, I hope that you have a fabulous holiday season, and I will see you in the next video.